The other thing you're able to do is have a look at the plan that you uploaded. My plan, the one I uploaded, isn't terribly relevant, so I won't go there, but essentially when you click this View Plan button, again, a PDF will open up and show you whatever it is that you submitted. If you find that you have submitted an inappropriate file for some reason, at this point in time, our system doesn't allow you to replace the file that you have uploaded. However, we do understand that sometimes things happen and you've grabbed the wrong file, or you've really realized something shortly after submitting it that you wished you submit a different version. Whatever your situation, if you find that you are looking to replace the file that you have submitted, we would simply ask that you use the Contact ACLS link at the bottom of the page, attach the PDF that you wished to, that you had meant to submit, and JC will take care of getting that added to the system, sort of behind the scenes. So at this point, the View Invoice is still not available to you. It's showing, but it's not an active link. And at any time, you can also go in and see your items, but again, we're in a read-only mode here. I can't change the responses to my checklist at this point because you've reached that point where you've said your plan is done and you're ready to go. So I can't update, but I can look at it and I can cancel to get back to my main screen. The next step in the process is you've plotted your Mylar, you've added your checklist number, you've signed the plan, and now you may be in a type of survey document that requires certain approvals. For example, at least in British Columbia, a Section 31 registration plan will often require that we go to the First Nation and get their agreement that the final plan meets their requirements, either in the form of a letter from a manager or a band council resolution. So I would now take my Mylar that I've signed and I would go through that process of obtaining whatever approvals are appropriate for the particular survey document that I'm dealing with. It certainly may be that no particular approvals are necessary for the particular survey document that you're dealing with, and that's fine. Whatever your status of that particular process is. So once I'm there and I've now got in my case, my band council resolution back, I'll log back on the system, I'll navigate to this page, and I'll use my final plan submission as the next and hopefully the last step for me in the process. We now move to the final submission page where I get the opportunity of confirming that I have in fact added the checklist number where the project number and file number are shown. So as Martin described in that bottom right corner of your plan, I've plotted my Mylar and I've applied my signature. I've also obtained any required approvals. So even if you're in a situation where no approvals are required, we still need you to tick on that box. I'm now at the point where I'm working out what fees are payable to the Association of Canada Land Surveyors, and at this point in time that plan fee is $50 as a standard fee, and then I have an $8 per monument levy on top of that. So I determine that I in fact set 25 new monuments, and I calculate what that invoice is going to be. The system goes through and applies $8 times 25 to give me the 200. It identifies what province that I'm based out of from the information that the ACLS has on record. It therefore determines the appropriate tax, and it tells me that the total invoice is going to be $282.50 in this case. If I'm satisfied that that information is correct, I'll hit submit. If I find that I really meant to say 5, not 25, I can replace that, but it is important that I go back and I recalculate my fees. And I say, yeah, that's better. JC will never notice those 20 extra monuments that I set and didn't tell them about.
Don't encourage people here.
And at this point, I'm ready to go. I can now submit. Now, by hitting submit, what I'm telling the system is that I'm ready to go. In the next short while here, ideally a day or two or less, I'm going to bundle up my Mylar and the appropriate returns that the Surveyor General has asked for in the specific instructions, and I'm going to send that to my regional office for their review and approval. And that's essentially what this note says. So when I'm ready, I go ahead and I hit submit. It takes a few minutes to process, and when we're done, it tells me that I'm happy to go, and it's going to take me back to my project page. So once again, we can check the status of where we're at. We can see that I not only have a checklist number, but it's now a link, that I've completed my professional review, I've completed my finalization and submission, and now now the Surveyor General branch is waiting to receive the returns. And I believe at this point I'm passing it over to Martin to tell you what happens on the Surveyor General side.
Okay, just a note there, the checklist number is now an hyperlink, and if you click on that hyperlink, it will bring you back onto the checklist side of the application, and you will be able to see your invoice there. The invoice button will be enabled, and you will be able to at any point in time see the invoice that is attached to this checklist. So and I believe Jean-Claude is going to send a monthly invoice to the surveyors.
Yeah, for the time being, since there's not, we received, by the way, our first checklist this week, and we have sent an invoice right away. But it depends on when we get the volume. That's probably what we're going to do is a monthly invoice.
So you're able to view your invoice there, but Jean-Claude will send you something by mail.
Yeah.
A total of all the invoices per month.
So just a piece of clarification from my side. This is your actual invoice. So you're able to take this, add it to your bill to your client, and proceed right away. And then what JC will send you is a statement of any outstanding invoices from time to time. And currently that statement is coming out right away. But in time, it's more likely to be a monthly monthly occurrence.
Yeah, as the volume increases, yeah.
Right. All right, so we're back to this point where we've submitted our returns. They're on their way to the regional office, and now
when the package is received by the Surveyor General, we acknowledge that, and we put a returns received date in our system. So if you do a refresh here, you will see that the SGD final review is now under progress. So now that means that we received the package and we're doing our review. Now in this new system, when there's a checklist number on your plan, it means that you went through all of these questions. You're submitting a final Mylar, a final package to the SGB, and it's not a preliminary package anymore. So we'll treat that package as a final plan, and we will do a review based on a list of critical items. We have a short list here of critical items, things that we find important for a land transaction to go through, and that are important for the plan to be recorded in the system. So as I said, we will make that list available under the plan review section of the green menu.
Martin?
Yeah, we have.
I have a question. Yes. Somebody's asking: Is a confirmation email sent when the returns have been received by the SGB?
No, not at this time. There's no email notification that are sent to the surveyor when the returns are being received. So perhaps this is something we want to add.